And whenever you find things that you're comfortable doing, you're going away from the journey of life.
The way I continue to stretch myself at my old and tender age is I do crazy shit.
Good people often become seduced by the chatter of their loudest fears.
Want to be happy? Build a life, not just a business.
Living that believing life. Out here living that believing life. Every day we living that believing life. Hustle like we living that believing life. Living life, yeah, so we grinding it out. Every single day we be grinding it out. Hustle like we living that believing life, oh. That believing life, oh.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You've got Michael Jordan level talent at something. So today, let's live your best belief life and learn why your comfort zone is destroying your life and how to get out of it. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, escape the comfort zone with David Goggins.
Whenever life would start getting good for me, God would throw a nice anchor and stop me right there. So I'm going through pararescue training, and there's this evolution called water confidence. And water confidence is pretty much what gets people kicked out of special forces, special operations is the water. And they try to drown you, pretty much. This was not in the warning order, so I didn't know anything about water confidence. Long story short, what it is they put 16-pound weight belts on you, whatever they can do to make you uncomfortable in the water. So for 6 weeks of a 10-week program, I became very uncomfortable. We got down to about 25, 30 guys left. I was one of them. And getting near graduation of this program, I'm thinking, my God, I'm about to get through this. Barely, though. Water confidence is killing me.
Right.
They took me to medical. They drew my blood and realized I have sickle cell.
Yeah.
So sickle cell is a blood disease that some African Americans have, which is not good.
No.
So they took me out training for a week. And when you go from being uncomfortable, that's your lifestyle, you get used to being uncomfortable.
Right.
When you go back to being comfortable, your mind says, I don't want to go back to being uncomfortable again.
That's right.
So I was like, I don't want to go back to the water. So my whole mindset was, I want to get out of this training. So I was hoping that they were going to medically disqualify me from pararescue program. That didn't happen. A week later, the doc called me in the office and said, hey, guess what, man? We're going to put you back into training. I was like, okay, well, I missed a week. I got about 2.5 weeks left. I can do this. I went back to the, to the CEO, the commanding officer. He said, hey, guess what? We're going to start you back from day 1. And when he said that to me, my mind went back to the old David Goggins. So I thought I had changed.
Yeah.
Learning how to swim, learning how to read and write. All I was doing was attacking the surface. I wasn't getting down into the dungeon of what was really bothering me. So whenever like tough times would happen, any tough time that would, really tough time that would happen, I would go back to the sewer of my mind. So this happened, I went back to lying. I said, hey, you know what, CEO? This guy, the doc didn't know about sickle cell. He didn't give me a good reason why. He's talking about sudden death, heart attack, stroke. I'm not comfortable. So he gave me a medical from pararescue. So he allowed me to leave. But I really quit. I didn't want to go back in the water again.
Right.
And that's when I went from weighing 175 pounds to 297 in about 3.5 years.
Wow.
So I did a job called TAC-P, controlling fast movers behind enemy lines. But that job wasn't a job that I wanted. And the spiral of depression, of trying to find things that I was comfortable doing. And whenever you find things that you're comfortable doing, you're going away from the journey of life. And I was going so far away from my journey that my weight showed my whole mindset.
Rule number 2, step outside your comfort zone with Jocko Willink.
I'm a chef in a large operation kitchen. Recently, during my last review, I was given some advice by my boss and his boss. They said it was important for me to give up some of my kitchen dog mentality and work to showcase my artistic side and embrace more of a star role in the spotlight. Get out of the kitchen a bit more, gain more exposure, specifically with our high-profile clients. Should I heed their advice or stick to what I do best and keep getting after it on my terms?
It's one of those questions. That's just funny how that last statement is framed, right?
Yeah,
Should
yeah.
I stick to what I do best and keep getting after it?
As if to say, if you say no, you should not stick to what you do best.
Yeah,
It's like,
and you should not get after it, right? That's the frame there. And actually, this guy, I answered the question real tersely. I think this came through Facebook messages. You know, I said, sounds like you found a comfortable zone for yourself and you want to stay in there. Right? Little cold-blooded response. And he's like, oh, I knew it. Because as we know, in the comfort zone, there's no growth in the comfort zone.
No growth in the comfort zone.
If you really don't want to do it, well, then you can keep being the guy that's in the back. And guess what? You're going to be mad in 6 months when some other chef gets hired for a different shift and all of a sudden he's out making friends with everyone and he gets promoted. And why does he get promoted? Well, look at what the guy's doing. But he's not as good as a cook as I am. Guess what? They don't really care. Making the food is only part of what they want you to do. Just like being a SEAL, doing missions is only part of what you need to do the mission.
Yeah.
You can't just be tactically sound. You've got to have the relationships built so you can work in the battle space that's owned by a conventional commander. You got to have the relationship that you can get your missions approved up the chain of command on the special operations side. How do you do that? You build. You go out, you talk to people, you get out of your comfort zone.
Also, if you want to have more motivation, self-love, and confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
You can outwork anybody, no matter how badass they are.
And I looked at him and I said, I'm not a brand. I'm a person.
Stop resisting. I encourage you, stop resisting the natural flow of epic performance. Stop resisting the natural seasons of life.
Rule number 3, push yourself out of your comfort zone with Dane Pena.
The way I continue to stretch myself at my old and tender age is I do crazy shit. Other than tripping over the chair, yeah, I do crazy shit. Still, this is 2014. This was just last year. I jumped out of the stratosphere in Las Vegas, 855 feet. Now I have artificial knees, artificial hip, artificial shoulders. I have no right long head bicep from bummed up from various things that have happened to me. So I should not be jumping out of an 855-foot tower that I got to land like this. So my lovely wife says, Dan, why don't you go watch the people land? She's thinking if I see them land, then I won't jump. No, I don't want to focus on anything negative, no negative shit. So I go up to the top and I jump. Well, I didn't land. On YouTube, we cut out the part of me falling on my head and rolling into the cement. We cut that shit out so it looks like it landed like this, but I didn't. I landed into the cement, and because my knees couldn't take the pressure, because I had full knee transplants a couple years ago with both knees. But I continue to do stuff like this to continue to push myself outside my comfort zone. And if I'm pushing myself outside my comfort zone in my 70s, it could be easy. Now, I'm not suggesting any of you jump off buildings. I'm not suggesting any of those things. But what I'm suggesting is the older you get, kids, and this is directed to the students here, the harder it is to push yourself outside your comfort zone. Because then you got a family, you got kids, you got a mortgage, you got your mother and father you're going to take care of. You got a half-breed mongoloid idiot for a sister. Well, life catches up with you.
And rule number 4, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is be comfortable in the unknown with Robin Sharma.
One of my brain tattoos that I've become very well known for is no one will believe in you until you believe in you. And so good people often become seduced by the chatter of their loudest fears. And what I mean by that is we come up with a great idea. Let's say it's to start a project that will allow you to lead your field. Let's say it's an idea for a new product that will allow you to grow a new company. Let's say you come up with an idea for a new painting if you are an artist. Let's say it's an idea that will allow you to take your fitness and your wellness and your longevity to a whole new level of wow. And pretty shortly after you come up with the idea, your ego starts screaming. Because we are good in our comfort zones, but the moment we start to go blue ocean around our next level of mastery, our fears come up because we're going out into the unknown. It's human. You know, if you were to look at the psychobiology of it and you were to study the pure biology of it, there's a term called homeostasis. Human beings are hardwired for a steady state. And that kept us alive. So literally our heart beats around the same amount, you know, the 72 beats per minute, and our blood pressure is within a small bandwidth, and that allows us to survive. But what happens is when we come up with a new idea and when we see a new opportunity and we start to leave our comfort zones into the zone of the unknown where greatness lives, we get scared. And the true heroes and the true titans and the true masters, those people are not fearless. Those are people who have just practiced walking into their fear and living on the razor's edge consistently to the point where they're comfortable amid their discomfort. And that's the great opportunity for you, not to avoid fear, but to be comfortable in the unknown, to be comfortable when you're terrified. And that really is what the great artists, the great entrepreneurs, the great titans, and the great masters are very good on doing. So the first reason good people lose is their faith is not as strong as their fear. Or to put it a bit more elegantly, their fears are larger than their faith. And so to be tactical for you, how do you build more faith? Well, you do what you're frightened to do. And it's a practice. You know, a great athlete practices every morning. And a great producer practices walking into their fears every single day. And what I'm encouraging you to do is every single day do one thing that causes your palms to sweat. Every single day start training your brain to hunt for opportunities to step into that unknown where possibility lives. And if you keep on doing it, you're literally going to build some new neurological hardwiring, a new pathway in your brain where it becomes easier. Because as you know so well, all change is hard at first and it's messy in the middle and it's beautiful at the end.
Now I have a special bonus clip from Dan Locke on how to get out of your comfort zone that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1, where do you need to get out of your comfort zone? Number 2, what's the first step that you can take today to start building some momentum? And number 3, who in your life can hold you accountable so that you continue to follow through?
Things are fine. You know, I don't need to be that ambitious. Well, that's the problem. Your income zone is your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is your income zone. When you get complacent, when you get comfortable, you are not growing. Remember, when you're not growing, you are dying. So do you have this ego that is holding you back right now? And what are you going to do about it?
If you want to know how billionaire Sarah Blakely manifests her ideas, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.